Motorcycle hazard prediction. Here's a question for you. What are the factors involving driving activity that cause traffic accidents?
That's difficult to answer. The factors of driving activity?
If anyone knows the answer, please raise your hand. Here's a hint. There is more than one correct answer.
Really? I'm not sure. How many answers? 3? 4?
The answers are cognition, judgment, and action. According to traffic psychology, the fourth factor is followed by the previous three, so-called influence.
Judgment? I think I've heard of that.
That's right. Most traffic safety education generally focuses on judgment for hazard prediction. So let's learn more about cognition, action, operation, and influence in this quiz.
What does cognition mean?
It is what you pay attention to while driving.
What is the gauge here?
It shows what you're focusing on while driving, since attention is a limited resource.
I see. Then there should be a balance between surroundings, operation, and margin.
Action, operation. Let's learn how to drive properly so as to prevent an accident. Crossroads with poor visibility. The driver is trying to go through a busy intersection at medium speed.
They have poor visibility on the road. I can see the surroundings gauge has gone up and operation has gone down.
Okay, then, here's the first question. What should you do in this situation?
Well...
Number 1, throttle up. Number 2, put your finger on the brake lever.
What is the correct answer?
The answer is number 2, to reduce the speed.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's safer to throttle down instead of throttling up.
That's right. You should keep in mind that something bad might happen at an intersection where the priority is not clear. You may tend to stop being careful once you get used to crossing roads like this every day. But it's important always to keep this in mind. On crowded crossroads with good visibility.
The visibility is good. The gauge margin is also sufficient. The driver is driving safely. What? Why did a traffic accident happen even though the road is so visible? The gauge was also well balanced.
It was caused by a cognitive error. When another rider runs at the same speed as you will feel like both of you are running slowly, just like you've stopped, urging you to speed up and cross the crossroads first.
Huh, I've never heard of that before.
Now, here's the second question. What is this kind of cognitive error called?
I wonder what it is.
Number 1, confusion course phenomenon. Number 2, collision course phenomenon. Number 3, gochujang course phenomenon. The answer is number 2, collision course phenomenon. When driving at a constant velocity with another vehicle, the other driver just blends into the background, and it feels like you're not moving. It is dangerous not to recognize it as a moving object approaching you.
I didn't know that our eyes could trick us like this way. It's important to drive carefully, even in a place with good visibility.
Distracted driving.
As their conversation gets animated, we can see the gauge, surroundings, operation, and margin going down. No, watch out! They were engaged in their conversation too much and got into an accident. What a shame. It was supposed to be a fun day out.
Let's watch the next scene.
I wonder what he's looking at. His gauges, surroundings, operation, and margin are decreasing. If he keeps doing that, there'll be an accident.
Okay, here's the next question. What is he doing while driving? The answer is that he's using his mobile phone.
Now I know how dangerous it is to use a mobile phone while driving. It diverts your attention more than you think.
It's extremely dangerous to drive while talking with somebody on your mobile phone. You have to pull over your vehicle on the side of the road if you want to do that. Braking operation.
Braking operation? How do you brake safely?
Did you know the brakes work differently depending on the motorcycle's condition?
The effect of braking changes? That would definitely cause an accident.
Okay, then. Which of these 4 pictures does the braking distance change? Number 1, riding double. Number 2, riding with a lot of luggage. Number 3, driving on a wet road. Number 4, applying the brakes only to the front wheel.
Let me see. Which one? It could be any of them.
The answer is all of them.
Oh, all of them?
When you ride double, the weight is applied more heavily to the rear wheel side than when riding single. You should use the rear brake carefully to adjust the balance and control the speed.
I'm guessing it's the same as when you have a lot of luggage in the back seat, right?
That's right. The weight of the luggage can be like that of a passenger. This puts more of your weight towards the front wheel. You can reduce it by applying the rear brake a little bit firstly, and then the front brake. It's also dangerous if you apply the front brake too strongly, even on a wet road, because it can easily lock the tire. It also can happen when driving on a dry surface. You shouldn't apply only the front brake strongly. Otherwise, it could force the rear wheel up. It can be very dangerous.
Ah, watch out!
However, it's sometimes sufficient to strongly apply the front brake on dry roads to generate a higher braking force.
I see. We should consider the road surface condition and the passengers too.
Brakes on motorcycles work differently from those of cars, so you have to control the weight distribution of the front and the back brakes by yourself. It is important even for experienced riders to learn this from an instructor. Last but not least, we have a question here about influence.
Influence?
Who do you think gets hurt most in a traffic accident?
Well, I know the answer. The injured people?
Of course, but is it all?
Huh. Who else could it be?
The answer is not only the injured people. A traffic accident involves not only the person and others who caused the accident, but also their family and friends. So it breaks many people's hearts.
What?
So you should be careful not to cause a traffic accident, not only for yourself, but also for your family's happiness and the benefit of the region.
That's right. I see. It's important to keep in mind the 4 factors: cognition, judgment, action, operation, and influence.
Absolutely. You can be more determined to protect your family's lives with the 4 factors: cognition, judgment, action, operation, and influence.
Let's drive with these in mind, not only for our own safety, but the happiness of our families, and for local people too.